Welcome along, fellow drifters, to another video. Today's video, there is some very important news to talk about that I haven't gotten around to making a video about it quick enough, but yeah, this is something that needs to be talked about because never before in the history of Drift Spirits has this been done before. So, on the 3rd of December, according to Japan time, it was announced that a bunch of cars are being made inaccessible permanently, which is very scary. I don't think Drift Spirits have ever done this before, where they've gotten to a point where they're actually taking away the ability to get any future copies of these cars. So, all the cars that are affected are listed here on the screen, which is, it's mainly all Mercedes cars and a majority of Porsche cars. So, on the 18th of December at 3 PM Japan Standard Time, all these cars and their rarities listed here, you would no longer be able to acquire them. And once it hits the 18th of December, 3 PM as well, any cars listed above here in both of these lists, you can't get them from the metal exchange, from the metal to car exchange anymore, which I'll show you in a moment. But yeah, all of these cars gone. 31st of December at 11:59 PM Japan Standard Time. These are all going. So by the start of next year, every single Mercedes-Benz car and majority of Porsche cars you will no longer be able to get. Anyone that's still got them though, so if you do still have these cars, you will keep them in your garage. So what does this mean for Drift Spirits? Like, it's kind of scary. So what I mean by the metal exchange, so if we go to the garage, we go to this here, which is the exchange cell. This is the metal car section. So if we go to Mercedes-Benz, any Mercedes-Benz cars you've got, once it's the 18th of December, you can't do this anymore with Mercedes-Benz and a majority of Porsches. And you can't even use downgrade rarity tickets for Mercedes or Porsche either. Well, for most of them anyway. Like if I go Porsche, I've got none in my actual garage, since for some reason it doesn't let you do them unless they're in the garage. But yeah, and like if we go to Porsche, like a bunch of these Porsches here, like this one, like they're just not available anymore for exchange, which is frightening. It's very, very frightening. Like, okay, look, I do apologize. I don't mean to fearmonger, but like, Drift Spirits haven't done this before. Bandai Namco have not done this before. What this could mean, like, why is this happening? Like, that's a question people are probably wondering, and it could be happening for many reasons. Like, one reason could be that the license is too expensive because, look, this is a live service game. Bandai Namco have to, like, you know, they'd have to pay yearly costs for maintaining car licenses because all the cars in the game, except for, like, you know, the made-up ones, are officially licensed. So, like, Bandai Namco are paying for the brand, they're paying for the models, like, they're paying all the licensing fees for all that. And it could be the fact that Mercedes-Benz and Porsche just got too expensive, and they went to Bandai Namco and said, we want to charge you more, can you pay this? And Bandai Namco said no, so they said, okay, pull that stuff from the game. And because it's a live service game, they can make the stuff unavailable. But if you already have the cars in your garage, you can still keep them. The interesting thing about Porsche, though, I will point out, for anyone concerned about One Game Midnight, so all of the One Game Midnight cars and the 918 Spider are safe from being affected. The 911 Turbo 930s, they're safe as well, which includes the base version. So yeah, and the 9 Turbo 3.6 964s, they're all safe as well. So if it's a One Game Midnight car, if it's the base 911 Turbo 930, or if it's the high spec 911 Turbo 930s, they are all safe from being affected by this change. MF Ghost, though, not so much, which is kind of disappointing. I'm wondering why they're like cutting it off, but like another reason could be what Bandai Namco could have done. They could have gone to Porsche and said, no, we don't want to lose our One Game Midnight license. Like, we don't want to lose that. Please let us keep these cars. And Porsche might have said, okay, we'll do it. It is a bit worrying. Maybe like, are things getting too expensive nowadays? Like, are car licenses getting too expensive? Like, video games as a whole, could they all be affected as well? Like, could One Game Midnight Maximum Tune be affected? On that side of things, I can't say for certain, because really with this, manufacturers set the terms. They will pretty much set the terms as to what games can and cannot use. Like, for example, if we go to Lamborghini in the game, and we go to like the Centenario, we look at the card, there is no model name in the car's imaging. Like, they can use the Lamborghini logo, but they can't use the model's name. Like, the Aventador name can't be used here. Can't use the Huracan name there. You can't even use the Diablo name there. Huracan name can't be used here. This one, though. See, at the time, for this MF Ghost car, they had the money available to license the logo. And then if we keep looking, the Aventador couldn't be licensed there for One Game Midnight. The Aventador here, however, can be licensed for, like, you know, like the logo can be licensed. See, like with Lamborghini cars are allowed in the game, but the manufacturer set terms so that they can use the model of the car. They can use the car model. They can't use the logos though. Like, Lamborghini might have asked too much for the logos. And so Bandai Namco might have negotiated with them, and Lamborghini would have come back to them and said, okay, you can use our cars, but if you're not going to pay us this much, then you can't use the logos of the models. Like the logos of the model names, which Bandai Namco said, okay, we'll do that instead. Which is very smart. Smart of Bandai Namco's, and that way they get Lamborghinis in the game, they can keep this stuff going. This also begs another question. MF Ghost, will this ever return? I can't say for certain. Because like if we look at Mercedes-Benz, there are 2 MF Ghost cars that Mercedes use, and if you go to Porsche, there is a bunch of Porsche cars that are part of the MF Ghost collaboration. So I can't say for certain if MF Ghost would ever make a comeback in Drift Spirits, which is kind of a bummer. So that's what's happened with the news recently. Another reason why these manufacturers might be pulling out of Drift Spirits, Mercedes-Benz might have gotten an exclusive contract from some other game developer company. Like, if you all know, or if you might not know, Electronic Arts, publisher of, like, you know, Need for Speed, stuff like that, Porsche Challenge, ages ago, they had an exclusive agreement with Porsche saying that Porsche could only appear in Electronic Art games. This happened for several years. So, like, you would see Porsche in, like, Need for Speed Most Wanted, Need for Speed Carbon, Need for Speed, I think, Pro Street, like, all those games, you'd see Porsches there. But stuff like Gran Turismo, you know, Forza, Assetto Corsa, like, during the time when Porsche weren't available, you just wouldn't see a single Porsche at all. In fact, you would see companies, you know, legally they can cut corners and use RAV cars, which Drift Spirits did at the time. Like, instead of using Porsche, just use RAV brand cars, which they work. It's a different brand, completely different brand. The cars might look the same as Porsche, like, look similar, but they're different cars completely. Very different cars. So it was legal. Mercedes-Benz might? Like Mercedes-Benz could? Don't know. Like, any current games that have Mercedes-Benz or Porsche cars won't have the cars removed. Could Mercedes-Benz possibly be entering a exclusive agreement to a specific developer or publisher? We do not know. Like, I haven't seen anything out on the interwebs detailing this and saying, like, oh, look, Mercedes-Benz is entering an exclusive agreement. There's just no way to tell. Yeah, so what does this mean for Drift Spirits in future, like, maybe with other brands? Like, Could we see Alfa Romeo cars like no longer be used? Alpine or BMW, maybe Cadillac, Chevrolet, Daihatsu. That, I will say, do not be afraid of like those brands being removed unless Bandai Namco announces it. Like, we don't know entirely what's going on with Mercedes-Benz. Like, this is only theories. Everything else suggested so far is just a theory. It may or may not be true. Like, we don't know what happens behind closed doors unless companies themselves announce it publicly. Like, the only indicate, like, all that Bandai Namco said in their announcement regarding the cars being removed was that just we can no longer provide these cars to you, so we're making them unavailable from this point onwards. Bandai Namco have not gotten into any detail about whether it's a licensing issue, whether it's like a money issue, whether it's like an exclusivity agreement issue, like, or a legal issue. Like, they just haven't said anything at all. Just said, we can't provide this anymore, we're making these unavailable. Once it's past this date, you can't get any more copies of these cars. Honestly, my opinion, maybe this might pave way for more other cars, like Bandai Namco, with no more Mercedes-Benz in the car and like no other Porsches coming to the game. It could be a fact that maybe we'll get much more Wangan Midnight fan service in future, like more Porsches, like more of those 911 turbos. Maybe we'll get other brands into the game finally. We'll get more of those featured. Like, maybe, like, it could be a good thing. Like, instead of the luxury cars, maybe we could get more Daihatsu, more Chevrolet. Get some more Cadillac in here, more BMW, more Alpine, more Alfa Romeo. Hey, maybe we could start seeing, maybe we could start seeing more Fiat cars. Even Ford. There aren't that many Hondas. We could see more Hondas, more Infinitis. Isuzus, finally. Maybe more Lamborghinis if they could. Lexus cars, Lotus. Lotus could be another one. Maybe more Mazdas, because we don't really have a lot of Mazda cars in the game. Maybe more Mini cars, more Mitsubishis. We've got barely any Mitsubishi cars in the game. Maybe they could start adding more of those. Mitsuokas. There's Nismo. We got plenty of Nissans. We don't need more Nissans. Maybe more 911 turbo Porsches. Like as I said before, more Rams. Maybe RUF could come back. More Subaru. You know, more Suzuki. We got plenty of Toyotas though. Well, maybe even like Bandai Namco could just add more of their other flagship title cars, like cars from Ridge Racer, or maybe cars from more made up manufacturers, like, you know, Cyber Formula cars. More of the Tamiya cars. Who knows? Like, this could be a positive change. Getting rid of expensive licenses could always pave way for new stuff. But ultimately, time is going to tell us to what this means. I am saddened that we are going to be losing cars. As a result, I'm going to have to do my best to try and make sure like everything's catalogued for the wiki. Like all the Porsche cars and stuff. But hey, that's how it is. That's how the game's going to be. And we just got to live with it. Drift Spirits has been going 11 years strong now, which is really crazy to think. And like, we're starting to enter this, like, we're going to start thinking about 12th anniversary, 12 years of Drift Spirits. One final thought. Some people might be wondering, does this mean end of service announcement? No. I firmly believe that no, it is not end of service incoming. Just because they lose licensing, like lose some cars, does not mean the game is doomed. If Bandai Namco keeps going their greedy ways, which is a different video altogether, then that would possibly mean end of service. But removing cars from the game, no. Like these luxury cars, no. I don't believe this is end of service. But yeah, those are my thoughts on that. What do you guys think about the cars getting removed? Let me know in the comments below. If you ever need a reference to the list of removed cars in future, check the link in the description for the Discord server, the Drift Spirits International Discord server. You guys can all join. There's no hard limits on how you join. You can just join. You can look in the noob guides or the events and updates, or the announcements. The announcements. Sorry, there will be a permanent link to it, so you guys can reference this announcement because it's a very important one. But you can check that out. Have a look at that constantly. And you can see like what cars were removed from the game. The wiki will be updated as well as to list the cars that are made permanently unavailable. And if you want to see screenshots of the cars, you can have a look there. I will try and get as much as possible there, but yeah, there's not really going to be much else left, unfortunately. So yeah, that is all there is. Thank you very much for watching. I'll try and make more content where I can. There's possibly another video on why I haven't been making much, but I'll get to that another day. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you all next time.